Is there a meaningful way to detach D&D's Ranger from the spell Hunter's Mark? That's an awesome question, and it gets to a lot of really interesting design issues with the Ranger itself, because their spell list and Hunter's Mark specifically have been a huge problem for the entire lifetime of 5e. In the 2014 rules, Hunter's Mark was this great low level buff. It works really, really well with two weapon fighting, with crossbow exert. Basically, if you're making a ton of attacks, Hunter's Mark was a nice damage buff, and it lasted a really long time. So when you got only a few spell slots, it was really efficient. But actually, higher level buffs like Magic Weapon and Elemental Weapon actually provided more increase to your damage output because the additive bonus of a bonus to your attack rolls significantly increases your damage output. Hunter's Mark is an additive buff. Magic Weapon and Elemental Weapon are multiplicative buffs. So as long as like your ability score increase was good, if you had other sources of damage bonuses, the multiplicative buff was more impactful than the 1d6 additional damage from Hunter's Mark. But the 2024 rules made a lot of changes to that thinking. First, we're locked into Hunter's Mark at least being available thanks to the updated favorite enemy feature, and the updated version of Magic Weapon no longer takes concentration, so you can now use both of those things at the same time. And that really is pretty good damage output. You're getting the flat damage bonus and the attack bonus from Magic Weapon, plus that additional 1d6 damage from Hunter's Mark. But the problem there is that is basically the only way that they expect you to play the Ranger, regardless of your subclass, regardless of your build. They expect you to be concentrating on Hunter's Mark, and that's deeply dissatisfying. They knew that concentration was too scarce a resource for the Ranger in the 2024 rules, so they did remove concentration from a ton of the Ranger's spells. But the problem is, all of those spells, like Lightning Arrow and such, they suck. They're bad spells. They're not a good use of a spell slot compared to basically anything else that anyone can do. So they removed concentration from those spells, hoping to make them more readily available, and they're just not worth using. So what I think they should do is they should start treating Hunter's Mark the same way that they started treating Wild Shape late in the 2014 rules and now in the 2024 rules. Use those free castings of Hunter's Mark from Favored Enemy, and instead of using them specifically and only for casting Hunter's Mark, use that as an additional pool of resources to fuel subclass abilities. Let players do other things with that resource, and let them do something other than Hunter's Mark if they want to.